Hey guys, Viking Reefing here. I realized that was basically ages ago. Okay, so my cat is here. He always wants to butt in on the videos. Okay, buddy. Come here. Oh, there we go. Okay, dude. Come on. Give me a break. That shoulder, please. Okay, so that wasn't working. So I realized that it was basically ages ago since I last did like a general update video on my system and just reefing in general. So we're going to be doing that today. But first off, let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, I will actually be shutting down my entire reefing system. So both of these tanks are coming down. The reason why I'm doing this is I actually bought a new house. So this tank, I can't even get it out of the basement. So this tank will obviously have to be kind of chopped up to get out of here. And yeah, the nice tank, you can't really move a reef tank full of water. So yeah, they are both coming down. My moving date is somewhere between 5 to 6 months away. So it's not a process that I'll be beginning anytime soon. My plan is to get a new custom tank built for my new place. The idea is to have it as a peninsula room divider. I'll splice in a picture here so you can see where I'm thinking regarding placement. I'm going to be going there in a week to take some measurements and stuff, but my theoretical measurements are somewhere around, in terms of lengthwise, 200 to 230 centimeters, width hopefully around a meter or something, and height around 70 centimeters. So yeah, it's going to be bigger than this tank if things play out the way I want it to. My only worry about that, and that's something I have to like kind of draw up once I'm there, is that it's not too big for the room, so it just takes over completely. Might even be a drop-off tank. We'll see what I'll do about that. My general plan for the move is that I'll have some overlap between when I have to leave my place and move into my new place. So I can set everything up at the new place and then slowly transfer stuff over from my current systems over to the new tank. The new place isn't that far away. I think it's about 600 to 700 meters away. So that shouldn't be too much of a headache. What I'm really looking to avoid is having to do the move in one shot. So just like take out all my fish at once and bring them there, corals and everything. That would be a major headache. So yeah, and obviously we're going to be having a complete build series of the new tank and everything. I'm going to be having a new look at flow, lighting, perhaps a cool new custom sump for it and everything like that. So yeah, it's very exciting. Also have to do some modifications to the actual house before I fill the tank with water. I'm not sure what it's called in English. It might be that it's I think it's called a crawl space. So the foundation has a crawl space, so we need to crawl under there and obviously put in supports, because if I place over a ton of weight on that floor, which is also live weight since water is constantly moving, I think there's a high likelihood that I'll end up with a tank falling through the floor, really messing up the integrity of the entire house and its foundation, so don't want to do that. With that out of the way, let's dive into my tanks and perhaps a little bit about the sump and just some general updates, what I've been up to. Knock it off. Ouch! See what I'm dealing with here, trying to shoot this video? Ouch. Come on, dude. Ow. Ow. Let's start off with the Nyios tank. My original plan for this autumn was that I was going to be adding some new obligate corallivore butterflies to this tank. That was obviously my plan all along, to have this tank for those specifically. And it used to be a tank for those kinds of fish before I had my issue with velvet. Since I've known that I'll be moving for a couple of months now at least, I haven't really done much to this tank. no use getting these extremely sensitive fish in here and having to move them and deal with that headache. I don't think that I'll set up the Nyios tank as like stage one of the move. I'll give myself some time, just focus on the big display tank, and then I'll set this tank up down the line, and then definitely fill it with coral or butterflies. So it's kind of, well, I wouldn't say neglected. I mean, I still take care of it, but yeah, you can see here these SOAs. I think they're called like Armor of God or something. They've really taken over. I should have been pruning them, but yeah, since this will be all taken down and I don't want any SOAs in my big tank, I don't really see a reason why I would like spend a ton of time messing around with them at the moment. I'm not sure if I've shown this clam off before, at least not on YouTube, but I do have a very nice Maxima clam in here. It's doing very well. Let's see here if I can get a shot from above. Oh, not really, no. I've had terrible luck with clams for a number of years. I used to be able to keep clams just fine. When I was like 14, 15, 16, I kept tons of clams. That's over like 20 years ago or something. Never had any issues. They just grew like weeds and yeah, just did fine. I tried clams several times in like the past say, 7 or 8 years or something, but they've never done well long term. This clam came from Svempa's tank. If you've seen that video, he had a 40-year-old reef tank that we quite recently shut down. Yeah, I guess this probably is pathogen free because I think that's the main issue with clams these days, that they always come in with a heap of pathogens, which causes like pinched mantle disease and stuff. Pyramid snails are relatively easy to deal with, so that's not really an issue. But yeah, the pathogens, yeah, they're a pain in the ass. This tank has a quite substantial Asterina infestation as well, as you can see here on the ground, or on the bottom, and on the glass as well. Perhaps I should get a harlequin shrimp for this tank. They do look kind of unsightly, but the benefit of them is that I basically don't have to scrape the glass of this tank. So yeah, apart from that, everything's growing well. This copper band is doing very well in here, so no issues with that guy. He's feeding very good. And yeah, the Goniopora and everything else looks happy. My rock flower anemones actually spawned in this tank as well, so I have a bunch of little babies throughout the rock work. Something that I will actually be doing with this tank, hopefully next week, is that I will be getting a new Moorish idol. So my plan is that I will be conditioning that guy in this tank for the coming 5 months, and I'll move him and the copper band and a similar Varder's butterfly, which I've yet to buy obviously, over to the main big display tank at my new place first, so they get established, and once I add the angelfish and everything, they're already there, which should alleviate some of the issues I've had with trying to introduce a new Moorish idol into my big tank, because yeah, they've gotten a beating. Something I did here, which really did help, was move one of the Nero 3s down here. It's just blowing across the bottom, which makes all the dirt accumulate right here. And it's super easy to get rid of. Believe you me, this is a bare bottom tank. It shouldn't have a sand sifting gobe in it. I've tried getting that guy out of here and failed. I've spent hours trying to get him out. Unfortunately, I can't get him. But as soon as we empty this tank, I'll definitely get him out of here. Oh, and I'm never switching back to sand. Bare bottom is the way to go, in my opinion. It's just so hassle-free. It doesn't look as good as sand, obviously. In fact, it looks like ass in comparison. But for someone that lives quite a busy life, yeah, It's a major relief. Switching to the big tank, as you can see, the coralline has really taken off. So it's starting to cover the entire bottom of it. And that does alleviate the kind of crappy look of a bare bottom somewhat. So that's very nice. If you remember in previous videos, I placed my MP40s on the back wall, which looked hella sleek, so they were just blowing like this. Unfortunately, now I think it's like 3 or 4 months down the line. I'm going to say that that was a failed experiment. The major issue was that the Tridus and stuff, it just kept like rotating this way, since there were nothing to just like really blow it into the actual overflow. I got a huge amount of detritus buildup over time, both on the bottom, but specifically also in the rock work. So yeah, I moved my MP40s to the sides a couple of days ago, and yeah, I'm not I'm not gonna be solely trying to rely on flow on the back wall ever again. Placing some more MP40s or some other stuff here, that would definitely be a very nice flow upgrade. So nothing wrong with keeping flow on the back wall, but just having it as a sole solution really didn't work out, unfortunately. Oh, the auto feeder is about to kick in, I believe, so that's why they're kind of swimming around it like piranhas at the moment. I also found a CJ pump, which I have, as you can see here, this looks crappy as hell. Haven't really done any cable management. I also managed to dig out a CJ pump here, which blows behind the rockwork, and it's relatively open back there, so kind of just pushes all the Tridus away that way. And it kind of gathers up behind these rocks right here, and it's relatively easy just to suck out. Right now, I would say that the corals are doing quite well. The fish as well, no major hassles or issues to bother with, really. I haven't been messing around with the tank all that much, and that's generally a good thing. Keep your hands out of the damn tank. So you can see my torches. This is a Hellfire, Holy Grail, Torch of the Gods, and yet more Holy Grail. They're really doing well and loving life at the moment. I really need to frag those guys up. I must have like 60 heads of Hellfire or something, if not more. It's getting kind of insane. I have an interesting new addition to the tank as well, which I got a couple of months ago. Can you tell what this guy is? I have a couple of other ones as well. That's a purple queen anthias. I've never kept these guys before, and people say that they are supposed to be impossible to keep and extremely challenging and whatnot. In my opinion, they've been rock solid, no issues whatsoever. I also got some Avances. So here's a terminal male Avance. I have a couple of males and a couple of females as well, but they are kind of skittish and they do a lot of hiding in the rock work. Hope I didn't jinx myself now, because I can only see one of the Purple Queen males here. One of them, which is not the dominant one, tends to hide out in my sandbox back there, which I built for my sand sleeping brasses. But yeah, other than that, I don't think it's... But yeah, just generally, I think it's going quite well with the big tank. There's a good terror balance between the angels, so no issues between them whatsoever. As you can see, angels do pick at corals. Look at the regional angel, but look at the corals. They're growing nicely. So yeah. Here we go. So here we have all the purple queens out. Well, that's a male, and that's a male, and that's a female. That's an Avansi, that's an Avansi female, and the other Avansis are hiding. But yeah, like, the difficulty of these guys is obviously highly overblown. I'm down to 1 feeding of frozen a day, and they're also feeding on aquaforest Nyios pellets as well. So yeah, misinformation. Like usual, it's just key to get good specimen to start with. So if they've taken a lot of beatings during the supply chain, they won't do well. But yeah, I'll definitely be getting some more purple queens for my new tank. No real reason why I would be getting a ton more fish at the moment, because that's just going to be a major headache. Oh, and I've also started dosing ammonia and urea instead of potassium nitrate. And I'm definitely seeing faster growth. And speaking of dosing, one issue that I have been having is that the water level in my Pacific Sun Calc Feeder calcium reactor started all of a sudden just like dropping. So one day I realized it was here, and then here, and then here, and then here. And that's an issue because you have an optical eye here. It works by that when the water level rises, the optical eye will sense that. It will open the soil level valve to the CO2 container. You pump in CO2, which lowers the water level. And once the CO2 is used, the water level slowly rises again, and the process repeats itself. Well, since the water level just kept dropping, no new CO2 was being added. I didn't notice this for quite some time, because I do have a failsafe as well. And the failsafe is that I have my cage director. It measures once a day, and if the cage level drops below, I believe it's 7.5 or something, it will start dosing aquaforest balling. So when I went in and looked, I was like, okay, it has actually been dosing for quite some time now. So I've had an issue with this guy for I don't know how long. And I used to run the pump at 75%, and I was like, I can't really see how my freaking consumption can be this high, but all right, I figured it might have been the coralline algae or something like that that really sucked up alg. So I couldn't really figure out how this would happen. I mean, the only way I saw it happening really was that if I somehow, like this inlet tube or something, had come up and it was starting sucking air, but I didn't see any issues there. I disassembled this, cleaned all the media, re-greased all the O-rings and everything, just to make sure. Couldn't find an issue. The problem just persisted. So I think I spent a good 4 hours or something looking for a solution for this. And I wish I would have thought this through, because what actually happened was that the peristaltic pump, which controls the entire thing, the tubing in here, it had probably developed a small, like, minuscule hole or something, so it was actually sucking in air. But it wasn't noticeable because it was still pumping in water as well. So once I figured that out, I simply just exchanged that tubing, re-greased it, and it was right as rain. The issue, and I got this fixed a little while ago, a couple of days ago, the issue was that pump was set on 75%, and had been so for quite some time. But I thought, okay, I'll reduce it to 50% or something. In a day, or in like 24 hours, my alg increased from 7.3 up to almost 10. So I've been yeah, that's why I'm running it so low at the moment. I think I'll end up at around 15%, maybe 20, once it's all said and done and everything has stabilized. Still can't see any issues with the corals, so that's good. But there can always be a lag time, so hopefully no issues. The other piece of equipment which I've added quite recently, I do have a video on it, is my new Deltec skimmer with the neck cleaner here. And this thing has been a godsend. I mean, the only thing I have to do in terms of maintenance is basically that I just suck out the skimmate, or I guess drain out the skimmate, like weekly or something. It produces around up to here or something like that on a weekly basis. So that's all the maintenance I have to do, because the neck swab takes care of everything, so it's always working optimally. So if you're looking for a new skimmer, I would highly recommend either the Deltec, obviously, which I freaking love, or some other model which has a automatic neck cleaner. That's it's such a quality of life improvement, basically, because no one wants to mess around with fish poop and a stinky skimmer. Other than that, I don't think there's a lot to talk about around the sump, because yeah, haven't really done anything in terms of new stuff for it. So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of update in my reefing life. If you liked the video, please hit that like button. It really helps me in terms of spreading the video around. And if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button as well if you think I've earned it. If there's anything specific that you think I should be doing with my new tank, please write that down in the comments. If there's any specific fish that you feel that I'm missing and should really be getting. And don't tell me to get a banded angel. I know I want one, but they are so freaking expensive these days. So yeah, that's it. Happy reefing. Have a good one. Bye.